Ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight we've got the crew set for what should be a real treat, a great Monday night matchup, as it'll be the LA Chargers taking on the Denver Broncos. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
To throw, here's Nix. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Deion Henley in there to bring him down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain night, and it's a good one. Now a fair catch signaled for and made right about the 43-yard line. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10 at their own 43. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Herbert. And this one finds McConkey. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Now a run. Here's the first-round pick from April's draft. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
In motion right goes Allen. A run once more with Hampton. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. Give him 12 yards there, and the Chargers have a first down. A perfect example right there, Charles, of why they love this rookie runner.
And think about how the NFL and the college games are meshing together more and more. You don't have to go to the NFL and learn a new set of skills. What you did in college often makes you ready for the NFL.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create, and if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
Open man, it's Johnston. Touchdown, Chargers. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Chargers put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Both sides. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. And I think they're going to at least take a look at this. And for the extra point, Cameron Dicker. And the Chargers grab the 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Chargers 7, Broncos 0.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. Oh, good return up past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of the game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Now it's Nix. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Franklin. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Nix to the air. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Jeremy Crawshaw now as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Herbert going to give to Hampton. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
That one complete to McConkey. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6. Everybody was coming on the blitz that time, and they got home.
And you know the expression, hat on a hat, in terms of blocking, trying to keep your quarterback protected? Well, if you don't have enough hats, that's the end result. Your quarterback goes down, and sometimes he goes down hard.
And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And Marvin Mims deep for Denver. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. They'll begin on the ground with Harvey. And then maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Here's Nix. Setting up a screen for Harvey. Gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
And they're not going to get this one off in time. It'll be a delay. So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hit 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Nix going to give to Harvey. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. Once more with Harvey. And a short gain down to about the 33. Deion Henley there on the tackle.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Throwing Nix. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
This now a 3rd and 4. Nix from the shotgun. This is caught. Touchdown, Broncos. A great effort there. 27 yards. And the Broncos are an extra point away from evening this one up. That's an old-fashioned death march there, partner. Took them a lot of plays, but hey, they did the job.
And the defense always preaches getting off the field, making a play, and turning it back over to their own offense. Unable to do so. A long, sustained drive by the offense.
Lutz with the extra point. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 27. The drive begins with a carry by Hampton. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Out of the gun, Herbert. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Herbert now. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Denver's offense now set to go. And the momentum just continuing to build and build for them. They had the touchdown, their last drive to tie the game. Now their defense does its job, and Charles, all of a sudden, they've got a chance to capture the lead here.
And we're seeing a really nice exhibition of what coaches love to call complementary football. Offense gets a tie, defense does its job, gets the ball right back, and their teammates now have momentum. What a nice job they're doing, all doing it together.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 7-7, our score after 1. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football. 2 yards to go, 2nd down. As they've got it as we resume action. On the give, it's Harvey. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
The Broncos on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And the Chargers coming out of the field now. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Harvey now on 1st and 10. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
42 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
That solid gainer will put them on the doorstep of the end zone. More importantly, it gives them a fresh set of downs. Nice work right there.
Again, it's Harvey. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
Hat tip to that offensive line. They're clearing some holes, even down here deep in the red zone. And that's a nice pickup on the ground on 1st and goal.
Harvey going to be stopped before he can get moving forward as he'll lose a couple back to the 5-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it won't be easy.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Lutz is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. Gets past one man. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 29-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Up the middle, it's Hampton. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
And, Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there. Couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
A handoff. Here's Harvey. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
And this one is incomplete.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
On 4th down, Jeremy Rashawn on to punt. Davis now to return it. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll start it out with a run by Hampton. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Again, it's Hampton. And some space here. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Omarion Hampton, 59 yards. And the Chargers have retaken the lead.
Well, that's a good-looking rookie right there. I love how he let the play set up and then showed that explosiveness that I saw on tape in college. Remember I showed you the clip of what he was doing and setting up blocks, and then he would just go? We saw it on that play right there. That one was fun to watch.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the lead is now 14-10. Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So the Broncos coming out now. Looking to put a drive together. On play action, here's Nix. He's got a man. It's his fullback. A gain of 8 there on the play. And it'll be second and a couple.
Good short hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Second and a couple. They run straight ahead with Harvey. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 52 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On first down, back to Harvey. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Working out of the gun is Nix. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Nix's pass intended for Troy Franklin. Incomplete. Brings up third down and 6 yards to go.
The Broncos on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw is Nix. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. This is caught inside the 15. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first.
I don't care what level of football you played. This one was a universal, wasn't it? When we were kids and we played touch football, remember we get in these positions and you just say, everybody go long, and hope someone would come free.
Up the middle, it's Harvey. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Taken down at the 11-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
They'll come up 2nd and 7. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Nix. Touchdown! Marvin Mims, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Broncos have moved out in front. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 17-14. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. 7-yard line. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. A back-and-forth first half.
And ordinarily, we're trying to figure out how to break out of a stalemate. Here, you're trying to figure out if you can slow someone down while continuing your breakneck pace on offense. I know one thing. The people in the crowd, they're getting their money's worth right now.
And the fantasy owners like it.
Oh, without a doubt. They're just tallying them up, aren't they?
They're watching this game. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. They'll give him 4 yards there. 3rd and 7 now.
It's a gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Here's J.K. Scott now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Kicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And coming out now, the Broncos. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. This is 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Nix. And finds Sutton on the right side, complete. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
44-yard line.
Back to throw. Nix. Open man, and again it's Sutton. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 48-yard line.
Now a 2nd and 2. They'll look to throw again. Nick's going to keep this himself. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Operating from the gun, Nix. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Yeah, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Nix. He completes this to Sutton. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers 19. A strong pickup of 11 keeps their drive alive.
19-yard line.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Here's Nix once more. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. The kick by Lutz is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. The Chargers going to get the football first here in this second half, and they trail as we get back underway. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Chargers getting ready to go here to start this third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
92 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. Well, remember, he had the interception earlier. Now he adds the sack. He's really making his presence felt out there.
Oh, he is putting together a heck of a game. In fact, he's going to bump these plays to his highlight reel. Okay, so when he wants to show it off later on, look what I did out there, guys. In this offense, they've got to start paying him a little special attention. He's like a good basketball player, putting stats in every column.
And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Got to give the offensive coordinator credit there. He got right into the head of the defensive coordinator because right on the heels of the sack on 2nd down, he figured they were going to come at him hard again. And so he went ahead and hit a brilliant call. Screen pass works well enough. They're able to pick up the first down. That's one way to keep that defense at bay. Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's Herbert. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Short throw to Disley.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Second and 5. They'll work inside here. Hampton. And maybe a little pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Back to Hampton on first down. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool him on that play.
Now it's Herbert. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. That'll give him 8 that time. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
Makes it 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Herbert. Touchdown, Chargers! Lamb McConkey from 17 yards out. And the Chargers are an extra point away from taking the lead.
An excellent, long, sustained offensive drive. And now they can look across the field and see a defense that looks a little bit beaten down. Right now, as an offensive coordinator, you're thinking to yourself, can I dial up the knockout punch?
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that will put them on top here in the 3rd.
Broncos 20.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So now we'll look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards that time for number 14.
Broncos first down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. Zone read to give to Harvey. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
On the handoff, Harvey shifts past him at the 45. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. They'll go play action with Nix. That's taken in by Franklin. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And they just did not get the snap away in time. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback, because everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there, because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
To throw, here's Nix. Gets it underneath, here's Harvey. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
The kick by Lutz is good, and they have regained the lead. So a response there to the touchdown of the opening drive of this 3rd quarter as they're able to reclaim the lead.
And I think you'll take that, because obviously you'd like to be able to match them touchdown for touchdown, but the first order of business was to get the lead back, and they've done that. Now you want to give a good pep talk to your defense to take it from there.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. There for the stop defensively, Nick Bonitto. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Herbert. Right side, he has Johnston. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Johnston. A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Nick Bonitto with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Harvey to start the drive. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, give them credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stuff the run and then executed.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. Now it's Nix. He'll get that complete to Franklin. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
We have seen big plays from both quarterbacks throughout this game, and there's another one right there. Going back and forth, almost like two excellent guitar soloists trying to top each other with each additional play.
Touchdown, Broncos! A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Broncos will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Lutz with the extra point. And that makes this a 9-point game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. L.A. readies for its next possession. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
A run once more with Hampton. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's Charger football, but they trail here as we get going in quarter number 4. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 14. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Now a deep one for Johnston. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. He'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs to keep up with your theme there, playing keep away. 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
And boy, the strength on display there as he rumbles through tacklers for a gain of about 8.
It's a gain of 8.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now. And here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
104 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James.
No gain on the
Run
play.
blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Nix from the shotgun. He finds his man, complete. It's Franklin. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 38-yard line. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Now Harvey. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Bo Nix taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Broncos have extended their lead to 15 now here in the fourth. A 15-point game now. You make the extra point, and that means on the other side you need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. That's a pretty tall order here in the fourth quarter.
Agreed, because they really needed to come up with a stop there, and even if it was just to hold them to a field goal. Now they need to pull out the lucky horseshoe because they've got to get an onside kick. And we've seen nowadays those are incredibly difficult to come by.
And not to mention they got to get the touchdown and a 2-point conversion first. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10.
At their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, Herbert. And this one finds McConkey. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
On 1st down, it's Hampton.
Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
Herbert now. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Allen.
And Allen's going to have a Chargers 1st down up near midfield, spotted at the 48.
1st down. A gain of 9 yards. 1st down, Los Angeles.
Herbert going to give to Hampton.
And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
Back to throw here, Herbert. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
4th down for Herbert. Desperation time. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Broncos will take over on downs. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46.
Working out of the gun is Nix. A short throw to Ingram.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
48-yard line.
From the 48-yard line, here's a 2nd and 4. Nix to the air. He targets Ingram for another grab.
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
On play action, here's Nix.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
Nix going to give to Hardy.
And some room to maneuver. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach that I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about running them into submission.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He had to run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up second down.
Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
Taken down at the 11-yard
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Get it together. Guys, you got this. Just win.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
Here's Nix.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown.
Marvin Mims
With his second touchdown of the night.
And the Broncos have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up the secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Chargers getting set to go.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
2 yards on the pickup there, and it's second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. He's going to air one out. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it.
They absolutely had to take some chances downfield trailing here in the 4th quarter.
So why not go 4 verticals, send the guys downfield, say make a play?
And that's one of the favored routes of offensive coordinators. You know why? Because receivers can be open at any point running that route.
Second down and 4.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Allen.
Herbert with a connection to Allen for a Charger first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Herbert throwing again. A quick throw there is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
On 2nd and 10, Herbert. Complete to Johnston here. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
And it's 3rd down.
They'll look to throw again. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Lad McConkey from 17 yards out. And the Chargers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Broncos are going to get the football. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. They got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
At the Chargers' 42-yard line.
You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. Another run on 2nd down, trying to cover up. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The win for the Broncos, seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. The Chargers ready to take over. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
Herbert going to throw. To the sideline and incomplete.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Herbert. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
If this offense can't get it done, they'll think back to just a few plays and say to themselves, this was a winnable game and we let it get away. Still a chance to save it, but time's definitely running out.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Now Herbert. The throw out wide going to be incomplete.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments, and anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
One last throw here for Herbert. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.
So it's a win here for the Broncos, and it was thanks in large part to the play of their second-year quarterback.
Yeah, he really carved up this defense. They were left looking at each other a number of times and just shrugging their shoulders. He had 4 touchdown passes and even had another on the ground for good measure. Really just played a whale of a ball game.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.